So, this, of course, very much seemed like Clueless at first, from the 90s, and it turned out to be somewhat like it without the lingo, perhaps, which was always nice. The lingo there, jogging, absolutely was maddening. I don't know how anyone likes it. When every half a sentence, I have no idea what they're on about. That wasn't even about, like technical language or anything. That was actually invented, almost like elven language, or without the, of course, the mystery and the legends behind it. Anyway, this, though, on the other hand, oh, it it began with very low expectations and continued on for a bit with low expectations, really. But then the pranks were kind of funny, just a bit, you know. Mostly the one with the heavy metal there. That was funny, the old strict, not sure necessarily old, but anyway, the little lady in her car there with death metal on that she cannot turn off. That's fun. Other than that, though, after that, there was very, very little that was funny. This is the problem with many such movies, really. It's like they forget what they're supposed to be for. At one point, they thought it was some sort of sports movie. I don't know. Another point, they actually thought it was a legal drama. I've no idea, honestly, what on earth it was about. Not that I like variety, but this wasn't really strong in any of them. That's the problem, you know. It might have been because it didn't invest in any of them, but ultimately it just wasn't really strong. And just when it was going to go on to be interesting, maybe with the pranks, just stopped straight away, pretty much. After what, three pranks or something, that's it, just stopped. Until, of course, the whole building got lit up on fire, literally, like it's just at the beginning, but literally, and wasn't even a prank, but it's it's honestly the most conventional movie in the end, overall, um, you know, it might be slightly funnier than Clueless, obviously slightly though, not really, not really much more, obviously slightly, but the problem then is that it tries to do it with pathos, which is stupid, really. Yeah, I mean, just these things should decide really whether they're comedy or serious, really. You cannot just suddenly, oh, there's my mom, oh, my mom, oh. Suddenly the dramatic shot of the dead that we haven't even seen for most of the movie. But just like Clueless, the problem is with relating. Honestly, I have no idea why Clueless specifically is so popular. Not sure about this, might be obscure, but how can anyone relate to the people in Clueless? I've no idea. It's like, oh yeah, I can totally relate to these people who think that. Of course, with Clueless, it's more like having Harriet in this movie, he's a protagonist, so slightly worse. Yeah, Harriet was very much a caricature, really, and the way she was introduced and the way she ended and the movie ended makes it so much worse, in my opinion. Like it would be average if that wasn't there. Like, what's the point? Just really nasty beginning and nasty ending. I don't I don't know why they did they seriously think it was funny or something? But yeah, by all means, make a caricature out of her. That's the point, isn't it? I think we got that. It's just a caricature, but a bit too much, a bit too Awful. That's the problem, really, when it comes to this. So, other than that, really, though, it's very similar to Clueless. Very, very similar. And I don't know why on earth there's like a fashion segment. Like, oh, look at us in different clothes. Honestly, every single movie that has such segments just make it so boring. Like, what's the point? Why do I want to spend 5 minutes just watching people? I don't know. Maybe, maybe I'm not its audience. I don't. But honestly, I don't get it. How is that story? You know, great. It's just changing clothes. Wow. You know, at least in Nerve, who I believe one of the ac- actresses here was in as well. I think it was. What was it again? Forgot. Anyway, one of them. It seems like. Yeah. Um, at least, yeah. In Nerve, they did it for with purpose, as in, you know, they it was part of the game and whatnot. Of course, this isn't exactly like Nerve, but yeah. So, you know, I do not actually watch these sort of movies very often at all. When I do sometimes watch them, yeah, I suppose it's the reason why I don't watch them much. I guess they're not really very. I mean, you know, I don't know what's wrong with, you know, like if they did more of that thing with the pranks, you know, would have been funny. But no, they just wanted to not do that. They just didn't want to do that. Just didn't. No idea why. Just didn't. Other than that, you know, there really was very little. It was funny, you know, just this long feud. The whole thing was bizarre, but at least you don't have to look up every other sentence. Just saying, you know, it was the case with Clueless, and it was horror. Oh wait, horridious. Oh yeah, horridious. Wow, what a word. Well, I mean, oh, so that was it's obvious what they meant anyway. Clueless, it was way worse. Totally new words. So at least it's not as bad as that, but still not really much better in the sense. Should have done more pranks, possibly. I don't know. And by the way, isn't it great how Emma Roberts here practically got into the industry because of Julia Roberts? Isn't nepotism amazing? Amazing. Anyway, yeah, one other thing is the fact that at one point they said something about the keystroke out of the root file. Who on earth were they trying to convince here there exactly? You know, the who exactly? I suppose for someone who doesn't really know anything about computers much, I suppose, yeah, they just say, yeah, whatever, I guess you could do that. I'm pretty sure you couldn't, though. Pretty sure, unless, the only way you could find out if someone is there writing instead of someone else is if there's CCTV, that's pretty much it. If they're logged into their account, there's no way, really. By all means, you can use I'm assuming they're referring to a keystroke logger, possibly. I don't know, they didn't mention logger, but it doesn't tell you anything really other than that's being it's being typed, you know, unless they somehow write their name for some reason. Um, really makes no sense. I don't know why they do this. Like in the middle of this, well, or not exactly middle, more like at the end. But what's the point of it? Like, you know, I mean, I don't suppose at this point, after all that fashion weirdness, someone will expect this movie to be about computers, right? I mean, sure, I don't expect it to be accurate about computers or anything, you know, but what's the point of this at all? It makes no sense. Why suddenly, oh, root file? What the hell is a root file? Anyway, Yeah, it's a strange movie. It's sad. It's weird in some points, certainly.